What I'm going to show here is a couple methods to add floors to your massing, so you know exactly where the floors will be when you bring it into something like Revit when we start to construct this thing. So here I have a building, and I've sort of broken it down into a few primitive massings, and I've drawn an outline of where I think my canopy will go, where my screen will go. And now I want to see where the floors are going to be. So what I can do is I can take a plane and I can draw a plane in a 3D mode. You could do this in 2D mode, I guess, too. And I'm going to draw where the first floor will be. So this will be 15 feet from the ground. Now I'm going to use a command called intersect. And I'm just going to select the objects and the plane. And I'm going to run the command. And now you can see where all of these objects intersect. I don't need all of the other things, though. So what I'm going to do is control-click the curves that I do want to keep, which are on the exterior here. And then I'm just going to delete with it still selected. So now when I actually delete this, you can see that curve is there. Or if I forget something, I can shift-select and run intersect with these things. So I can run them individually if I don't want to deselect and delete. So now you can see this is essentially where my first floor would be, 15 feet off the ground. You can take that plane and you can move it up 12 feet. You can also copy it and move it 12 feet. And you can run multiple intersections all at once. Let's run intersect there. And now if I were to diagram this, I know exactly where my floors are. I have a first floor at 15 feet, and then these are each at 12 feet. There's an alternative method which I prefer, which is to use a command called contour. So I'm going to run the contour command. I'm going to select all of the objects I want to contour, and now it's asking for my base point. Instead of running it on the ground, I'm actually going to run it 15 feet off the ground because I know that is one of the floors that's different. I'm going to draw the perpendicular, which way the contour is going to be perpendicular to, or basically the direction I'm contouring. And then I'm going to give it a distance, and here I'm typing 12 feet. And you can see that it intersects all of those objects at 12-foot intervals. So now when I deselect, you can see all of those lines have popped up, and if I were to make this a diagram, I can now easily see exactly where my floors would be. Now it does contour both ways, so there is a contour at 3 feet off the ground, because this would be 15 and then it goes down 12, which means there's 3 feet left till I hit the floor. I'm just going to delete that, and so now I know exactly where all of my floors will be, and I can take this into a diagramming model and actually take this into Revit and know where to put my levels. Now you can run the same trick for plenum spaces if you want to show where your plenums or your structure might be. Or you could just select these items, these resulting curves. So I'm just going to select these, and it might be worthwhile to make sure you're on a new layer called like floors. And then when you run the contour or intersect command, it's going to put all of those lines on that layer. But I'm just going to copy these and paste these, and now I'm going to move them with the gumball negative, let's say 3 feet. Actually, let's do 2 feet. And so now I have a line for where my floor will be and my plenum will be, and if I start to look at elevations of this thing, you can see very easily where your structure will go and where your mechanical systems will go. And we can note, or you can note, if that will be enough space. And you can actually create those as reflected ceiling plans or floors as well in Revit when we eventually move into it.